Good morning and welcome to our midweek message today. A reading from Mark chapter 1 and verse 29. As soon as they left the synagogue, they went with James and John to the house of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever, and they immediately told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her up. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them. That evening after sunset, the people brought to Jesus all who were ill and demon-possessed. The whole town gathered at the door, and Jesus healed many who had various diseases. He also drove out many demons, but he would not let the demons speak because they knew who he was. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Simon and his companions went to look for him, and when they found him, they exclaimed, "Everyone is looking for you." Jesus replied, "Let us go somewhere else to the nearby villages, so that I can preach there also. That is why I have come." So he travelled throughout Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and driving out demons. Busy, busy. Mark's gospel does not claim, I think, or pretend to be a day-by-day exposé of the life of Jesus. Rather, he occasionally gives us a glimpse into a particular season of events, a day or two, a weekend perhaps, or the final week of his life. But he leaves us generally to fill in the blanks, to imagine what it was like for Jesus and his disciples. So as I read today's gospel reading, my sense was of busyness, of selflessness, of service, but also of a man who was fulfilling his duty because he knew his priority. We hear words like "as soon as" or "immediately" peppering the story throughout the Gospel of Mark. I picture the private secretary who comes to the CEO as she leaves one meeting in her major building and speaks to her as she goes to the next appointment, telling her what is coming next. It's a non-stop day for Jesus. Very early in the morning. That reminds us that there are times and places that we can all claim, if we choose to do so, where we can spend time with our Heavenly Dad. And it's important that in the midst of these busy days, Jesus took those times seriously. That seems to be a priority. Why would you bother if it wasn't your priority? We hear about the whole town, everyone throughout Galilee. These descriptions suggest that Jesus was present for everyone. No one was beyond his care and concern, and he sought to meet their needs. Yet even as he drove out many demons, he remained in control. We read, he would not let them speak. Yes, he was relentless. Yes, he was self-directed, but he wasn't losing control. I wonder, as we rush through a day, do we know what our deep priority is? Our relationship with our Heavenly Father? Or do we simply dander through the day with no sense of focus or firm plan? Do we tick off lists of things that need done? Or do we seek from God his help as we make such lists and consider our plans? Jesus ends today's passage by revealing to the disciples the purpose which came from the time spent with God. He told them, "Let's go so I can preach, for that is why I have come." I wonder, do we have times spent with the Lord, times of prayer, which have a priority, which take first place, and as a result of those times spent with the Lord, we know better what we're meant to do every day, and this day in particular. Oh, to have his disciples, you and me, to be driven by a similar clarity and conviction as we go about our daily tasks. Let's pray to Jesus. Lord Jesus, we thank you that you were so directed as you went through your days of ministry on earth. You focused your love on people who needed help and healing, those who were distressed and anxious, those who were aimless and lost like sheep without a shepherd. And you came among your people, and you drew them to yourself, so much so that at times you needed to escape early in the morning and to get away to spend time with your Father. Help us who pray to you today to spend similar times drawing near to you, and to know your presence and peace, your purpose for us as we go through our daily duties. For those who are bewildered today, Lord, we pray for wisdom and grace. For those who have been set aside with illness, we pray for your recovery. For those who are anxious or fearful, may they know your peace. And we pray with Jesus, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you for joining with me for our midweek message. I'll be back with Sunday's events, in particular a recording for Sunday evening, when we're looking at the second part of our series on loving your church, the business of welcoming. Good morning and God bless.